to this whole process, which is the most important aspect of getting your resume right. So, what I've got here is I've got a complete example, and what you'll be able to see is some differences that you can make on your resume on your own. So here we are. We've got this resume here. This is the front page, and we're going to transform this into something that is more workable, especially with the Australian market. And this one, I'm very much focusing on this resume going to a recruitment agency, because what you want to do is have slightly some extra information in the professional summary. Okay, so let's get started. So this is a very basic resume. What we want to do here is obviously change this to the suburb that you're living in. So say, for instance, if you're living in Sydney, you want to put in the actual location, the suburb, and because if they don't see a suburb there, they automatically think that it's that you don't actually live there and you're applying from overseas, which recruiters get several resumes from all over the world, and we don't even look at those resumes because you're not living here. So what I would do here is just to make it a little bit neater is place this and probably change it to a little bit larger, and there we go. We'll just change that. I'd put phone, and then here, this is just like, some tweaks here just to get you started. And location, very, very basic information here. Okay. Now you can get a professional to do your resume, but I think if you have all of the experience, then you probably would like to give it a go yourself. You can put in your LinkedIn profile as well. So yeah, I would probably put in your LinkedIn, and then obviously put your information here. Okay, so going on to the professional summary, you can change it, leave it as that, or career aim. So this gives an overall, obviously, information about who you are and all of that. Now that all sounds great, but it's not very specific. Maybe this would be good career aim for someone that's, if you're applying for a position within a organisation. But I think if for this sake, I think it's probably best to have something a little bit more specific. So I have actually written one out, which I'll just grab that from here. Won't be a moment. And then we can see the difference that we have. Okay. So here we've got experienced IT professional with over 9 years experience, blah, 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 all of that. So that sounds great. But what about if we change it to this? Experienced IT DevOps engineer for over 9 years in software development and cloud computing. So pretty much the same as what we have up here. I have recently moved to Sydney and looking for immediate start as a software engineer. I am available for temporary, contract and permanent work within this field. So you're saying exactly what you're after. And please note that a lot of recruitment agencies don't advertise all of their roles. So that's why you want to cover off that you're happy with temporary work. I have excellent communication skills, because communication skills is probably the one biggest thing that recruiters in Australia tend to think, well, how is your verbal communication and how is your written communication skills, which is just so important. And then what is your working rights? So if you put it here, what your working rights are, with full working rights until with an expiry date, and also if you put with a view to become a permanent resident, then that gives that sort of solid view that you're here to stay in Australia, that you're not here on a 10-month, visa. You're here to stay. Your focus is in Australia. You've moved to Australia, and that's it. And maybe if you are connected to any memberships, put it here, because it really solidifies that you're very focused, and you're here and you're a professional. And the other one here, current police check. When you're going into a temporary role, we need to see a current police check. Now, that could take you probably maybe a week or two to come through, because you're not from Australia, so it takes a longer. And if you have a very common name like Mita, then it's going to take a lot longer. So that's going to be a real deterrent for a recruiter to place you into a role if you don't have a current police check. Now, working with children check, that's a paramount. If you go into any universities, anything that requires anything to do with children, a working children check can take you 3 to 4 weeks. Now, imagine if you got offered a role and you can't start working for 4 weeks because you do not have these checks. You land in Australia, you get these checks immediately. And also, I've just put here, just to sell yourself, I have excellent background with major achievements. So put in an achievement, a major achievement, and you want a really big note yourself here. So can you see the difference between this and this here? It is a major difference. So get rid of that, and that is more personalized, and it just looks a lot better. So now you want to do is your key skills. Now, your key skills here is very much all your technical skills. I don't want to see anything great team member, all of that. No, thank you. Get rid of all of that. I'll be the judge of that. Now, we do love bullet points here in Australia, so I would change this to some bullet points, because it reads easier, and it's just a nicer format. So we're very much into those bullet points. So I'll just change this. So hopefully you're getting a bit of an understanding of how a resume is, and we don't need all that fancy stuff, graphics and things down here and whatever, because this information will be picked up, buzzwords. If you're applying for something that needs DevOps experience. Now, I'm not an IT recruiter, so I absolutely don't understand all of that. But you can see if you are working in that area, and if you've applied for a job in a recruitment agency, that it will pick up these various things. If I go into search, and I put in there DevOps, must have DevOps, and must have a working with children check, and maybe with my SQL experience, is going to pick it up, because you've got it all here on your resume. So just going back down here now, we've got the professional experience. I generally like to see the education or any certifications. We just put education up there. So just change that up here. So your one page is pretty much going to be your marketing tool to get it, because you've literally got probably 30 seconds of my time as a recruiter looking at your resume to see whether I like to continue on and see what your experience is. Okay. So here we go. We've got the education, and I'm just being brutal here because I'm just being super honest. Okay, so here we've got the education, and then after that we've got the professional experience. Now, I know there's a lot of people that say, you should have 1 or 2 pages for your resume. Don't worry about that. If it has 3 or 4, it is absolutely fine to go into a recruiter agency. Now, just to also let you know that there's about 400 recruitment agencies in each state. Okay, so we've got the education here. So now we can see a really good snapshot. I always like to see a resume to be a mini storybook. So we've got your professional name. We're very clear about your working rights, your clearances, and what you're looking for. We understand that your key skills are all there and your education. Now you can put, if you have had your experience assessed by Australian standards, you could put it here, Australian standards reviewed or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just put something here to state that it has been reviewed, because that is a very important factor for your qualifications. Okay, now moving on to professional experience or work history, whatever you want to put there. Now you've got the title, which is excellent. Then we've got the company name, and obviously where you've done that. But now I don't know what info blah 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 is. So what you'll need to do, because once again, you've only got a very short time before I move on to someone that has local experience. So what I would do here is I would put some details about the company. Largest, maybe software company for real estate. I don't know, real estate technology. I don't know, something like that. So whatever that company does, it's a made-up company, by the way. And then obviously don't put present, because then we think, oh, are you here or where are you? You want to put the end date there. Okay, so now this is pretty much working on, this is an interesting fact. So looking at what this person has done, it's all about the results. So what in Australia, yes, we like a bit of a mix about that, but we want to see what your responsibilities are. So if you look at your job description, you can pretty much put over some of that information to your professional experience. So responsibilities will be something, managed a team of 15 in the IT development division. Put these types of things here, because we want to see some of your day-to-day skills in your responsibilities area. Yes, these ones here, designed and implemented, blah, blah, blah. That is an achievement, and that's great, but you definitely need to mix it up with your responsibilities here. And then you have your key achievements. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what this is like and how that's transformed, and it gives a better picture of where you're at, and some information that will definitely help your resume. Thank you.